And our third main topic today gets submitted to us by Remy LeBeau. Oh, we got a little X-Men mutant action going on in here. Remy LeBeau writes in, greetings and salutations, John. We've talked a lot about how much WandaVision completely blew away all of our expectations and far exceeded Disney's wildest expectations for success. The question now becomes, can The Falcon and Winter Soldier exceed it? Before WandaVision, I think most people expected The Falcon and Winter Soldier to be the better and more successful than WandaVision, but with the kinds of crazy numbers it put up, can Sam and Bucky hope to pass it? What do you think? All right, thanks a lot for sending that in. And yes, of course, you guys know I loved WandaVision. I was obsessed with WandaVision, but you also know amongst all the stuff coming out on Disney Plus for Marvel, whether it's, Miss Marvel or She-Hulk or Moon Knight or Hawkeye, the one I have most been anticipating is Falcon and Winter Soldier. That's the one I've been looking forward to the most. And it is about to be upon us. Now, the question comes up, and really, it doesn't matter if one's better than the other. All that matters every time we sit down to watch a movie or TV show is the movie or TV show we're going to watch good, enjoyable, entertaining? Did we get a good experience by watching it? It doesn't matter how it compares to the other things that come out around it. All that matters is, did I have a good experience watching this movie or show? That should be the ultimate thing. But of course, we are fans. And so, of course, we do like to engage in these sorts of discussions about which one will be better, which one will have more success, and all that kind of stuff. So I thought it'd be fun for a second here. I want to run down 5 reasons. This is not a top 5 list, but I want to run down 5 reasons here that I think Falcon and Winter Soldier can actually beat and exceed WandaVision in terms of success and being a fan favorite and all that kind of stuff. But I also want to talk about 5 reasons why it won't.
Okay.
So let's start with this. 5 reasons why Falcon and Winter Soldier will exceed WandaVision. All right. Number 1, it is the more traditional comic book style. The people, this is one of the reasons why Superman Returns, which I thought was a very good movie, but a very bad comic book movie. I think it's one of the reasons people go in expecting a comic book kind of movie. Superman Returns wasn't it. WandaVision was a delightful breath of fresh air. But it has also been over a year since we've had some Marvel MCU, like good traditional action Marvel MCU. And I think Falcon and Winter Soldier set up as a little bit more traditional kind of thing. And I think that's going to excite a lot of people. Number 2, these are fan favorite characters. People love Falcon. People love Bucky. They especially want Sebastian Stan to play a young Luke Skywalker for whatever reason, but they really love these characters.
For whatever reason?
Well, I mean, similarity, yes, but that's not really the main thing. But anyway, the third thing here is the return of Zemo. Now, as much as I love Civil War, I honestly thought Zemo was one of the weakest villains ever in a Marvel film. Not because he wasn't played well by the fantastic Daniel Bruhl, who is an amazing actor, but at the end of the day, everything he accomplished, when you really sit down and think about it logically, everything that happened in Civil War would have eventually all happened anyway. Even if Baron Zemo wasn't there. That's my take on it. But a lot of people loved Baron Zemo. They loved him. And so to see him now come back and actually, don the Baron Zemo mask that a lot of people were looking for, that's got some people excited. 4 is a big one, which is this thing is symbolically attached to Captain America. I mean, if you look at the entire, the logo of Falcon Winter Soldier, it's Cap's shield, right? This thing is associated and sort of mentally has attachments to Captain America, who, him and Iron Man, they have been the faces and the representation of the MCU for over a decade. So I think that's going to play into it. But the 5th one is key too, because Falcon and Winter Soldier now gets to build on the momentum and success of WandaVision. That's really works to its favor. It's now going to be able to keep going with that snowball effect, especially with the fact that it's coming out immediately and we're not going to have to wait 3 or 4 months for it. So I think when you look at it's a more traditional comic book style. They are fan favorite characters. The return of Baron Zemo, the symbolically attached to Captain America, and the fact that it gets to build on the momentum of WandaVision. I think these are all some really solid reasons why we can expect that Falcon and Winter Soldier will exceed WandaVision. Now, that being said, let's play devil's advocate and let's look at it from the opposite point of view. What are some reasons why we may expect that it won't do as well as WandaVision? Well, first of all, WandaVision was the first MCU product in over a year. And giving a you have never enjoyed a glass of water more than when you feel like you're dying of thirst.
Right.
And that's just a big advantage that WandaVision had. We have gone over a year since Spider-Man Far From Home for something from the MCU. It comes out and it just gives us that experience that unfortunately Falcon and Winter Soldier can't do. I mean, it gets to build on the momentum of WandaVision, but it's not going to be able to have that same, it's the first MCU thing in over a year. That goes to WandaVision's favor. Also, WandaVision had a huge surprise factor. Because it was the show ended up being nothing like what a lot of us thought it was going to be. I thought this show, and I thought Kimberly put it great the other day, this show was going to be a really nice kind of gimmicky, looking at the love relationship. Even the promo materials that they sent me were a love like no other. It was going to be about the romance relationship of Wanda and Vision told through the lens of different eras of sitcoms. It turned out to be something completely different. It had that massive surprise factor, and that's something that Falcon and Winter Soldier doesn't really have that we know of. Also, WandaVision sets the bar very high. You know, we talked a lot about when we would be reviewing and talking about the various episodes of WandaVision, one of the things we would often say is, man, I would hate for WandaVision to be my opening act. Like, you don't want to go on stage after that band just kicked ass. Like, you don't want to follow them. And that's going to be one of the challenging things is WandaVision set the bar incredibly high. And that's going to be something that the, Falcon and Winter Soldier is going to have to deal with as now they come out on stage and take their turn. So that's something working against them a little bit too. Also, here's a big one. The marketing for Falcon and Winter Soldier simply has not been as good as it was for WandaVision. They mounted a really serious marketing campaign for WandaVision. They got everybody intrigued. They took a very stylized approach to their marketing. The Falcon and Winter Soldier marketing, don't get me wrong, I've liked the trailers. By the way, Derek Qatar sends in a super chat badge in the live chat. Thank you, Derek. I've very much liked the trailers for Falcon and Winter Soldier, but they are typical trailers. Mm-hmm. And I'm excited for them because this is my most anticipated show. But the Falcon and Winter Soldier has not had the creativity in their marketing approach, and they certainly haven't had the brute force in their marketing that I think WandaVision's had. So that's another thing working against it. And also, while we're saying one of the reasons that Falcon and Winter Soldier may exceed it because it's a more traditional comic thing, that may work against it. Being a traditional comic book style may seem like a little bit of a letdown now. Maybe now, after watching WandaVision, we're expecting to have our expectations subverted. And if they don't, well, maybe we won't receive it as well. So once again, for me, 5 reasons why Falcon and Winter Soldier will exceed WandaVision. More traditional comic book style, fan favorite characters, the return of Zemo, symbolically attached to the face of the MCU, which is Captain America, and built on WandaVision's momentum. Maybe 5 reasons why it won't. WandaVision was the first MCU thing in over a year. WandaVision had a huge surprise factor. WandaVision set the bar extremely high. The marketing isn't as good as WandaVision's. And working kind of against it is the traditional comic book style, maybe, depending on what our expectations are right now. So that, to me, are some reasons why we can expect that Falcon and Winter Soldier will exceed WandaVision, both in success and maybe overall our enjoyment of it, and 5 reasons why maybe it won't. Aaron, I know that you and Tom made it a religious ritual to watch WandaVision every Thursday night at midnight, and well, sometimes
in English and in Spanish.
In English and in Spanish. I know we're now heading into Falcon and Winter Soldier. Uh-huh. Where are your expectations right now? How do you think one will compare against the other? How will one do success-wise against the other? What are your expectations?
Well, first of all, I don't like comparisons. I think there's enough love in the world to go around. I think that they're not on the same night. They're not at the same time. We don't live in that world of watching television anymore. So we are just going to transfer all that love we had for WandaVision, and we're just going to put it right into Falcon and Winter Soldier and let it roll on and snowball until whoever is the final act of the MCU Disney Plus performance will just be an amalgamation of all the love we have shown throughout. No. In all seriousness, I don't necessarily think that one is going to, quote, do better than the other, because as you pointed out, they're completely different. And yes, WandaVision was a drink of water after dying of thirst. And, not to get too emotional here, but let's be honest. I don't think that there's a person on the planet who has come out of the past year unscathed in some way.
Yeah.
And WandaVision not only was unique and different and unexpected in the way that they told a story, but also it was heartfelt. It dealt with incredible, deep, painful loss, not only of her husband, which I know people who have lost their husbands in the last year, but also of her sibling, that loss.
Right.
And we all have experienced some loss, or we know someone who has lost someone this year. And so the fact that they were able to connect to that, I think really resonated in a deep way with a lot of people. And also having the different time periods kind of turned on a little bit of the nostalgia that we have all felt this year for another time period, whether we were nostalgic for the 50s or whether we were nostalgic for the 90s. We were just nostalgic for some time period before the shit show we've been living in. And so to be able to escape that a little bit through the eyes of Wanda in these beloved sitcoms or telenovelas that we,
depending on which language,
depending on which language you're watching, I think that was one of, and I don't know if that would have had the same, I don't know if that would have resonated the same way had we seen this exact same WandaVision a year ago without everything that we've lived through. So in a very bizarre happenstance way, it was the show we needed at exactly the time we needed it. And now that we are starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel, that vaccinations are starting to become more plentiful, that that the hospitalization rates are going down, and things are starting to open up again. We're seeing Falcon soaring through the air. We're seeing fight scenes. And we want that action. We want to be outside.
Yeah.
I really think that this is the timing of it. It's just really miraculous in the way that it all worked out. And so I'm excited because this will be something completely different, and it'll be a return to the MCU as we know it. I'm looking forward to more action. I'm looking forward to more fight scenes. I'm looking forward to these two characters who are not only beloved, but also, from my perspective, eye candy for, I mean, I will be watching for many reasons, but I'm not going to lie. I'm, there's some good looking stuff going on that show. So I really don't necessarily think that one's going to, quote, do better than the other. Obviously, the numbers may come back and, somebody will look at a chart and say one was more successful. But I think that given that they are two vastly different programs, they both have a place. And I'm just as excited as I am about Falcon and Winter Soldier, and as wonderful as it does, I don't think that's going to take away anything from what WandaVision did, especially in a time when we all really needed that.
They're going to be two very different shows.
Completely.
They're going to be two very, very different experiences, which is something that has been a hallmark of what Marvel's been able to do with their properties. They are constantly changing gears.
Yeah.
One's a crime thriller, one's a political thriller, one's a heist movie, one's more of a straight comedy, and then we got WandaVision. And, here's the thing too. Remember, we went into WandaVision with a certain set of expectations about what we thought that show was going to be, and it really, really turned out to be something different. We are all going into Falcon and Winter Soldier, including me, with a certain set of expectations of what we think. We think this is going to be the more traditional comic book show. We think this is going to be the more of the actioneer show. Well, we thought a lot of things going into WandaVision too, and they made it something incredibly different that was even better than what we were expecting. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do there. By the way, I just want to say, to Toodle Dundee sends in like a $50 super chat badge in the live chat. Thank you so much, man. That's really cool. And I love the badge you put on there too. You have to be watching the show in the live chat to be able to see it. But thank you so much for that, man. We appreciate that. Anyway, guys, the question for you is, where are your expectation levels right now for Falcon and Winter Soldier? How do you think it's going to do compared to, say, a WandaVision? Do you think they're going to subvert our expectations like WandaVision did? Can you see other pros and cons about maybe why, other than the 5 that I listed for each, maybe you can think of some other ones as well? Whatever those thoughts are, jump down into the comment section below and leave your thoughts there. Okay, guys.